Hey guys, this is Jack from It's Only FPL. Thank you for joining me. On today's show, we're going to go through who to captain in Gameweek 26, the best options in my opinion. We're going to go through a full review of the best options in order, and I'm going to include a risk level of what I think obviously the most risky to the least risky having as your captain for this round. So let's get straight to it. And first option I'm going to go for, slightly controversial with a goalkeeper, but Dean Henderson, absolutely smashing it at the moment. Fully worth considering, certainly worth considering having in your team, and I think now starting to think potential captain potential as well. So we can see on there, his recent form is absolutely outstanding. They've got Bournemouth at home next, and considering they don't concede many goals at all, it's just a no-brainer to me. Obviously, there's a risk involved in terms of captain, so we have to weigh that up yourselves. But the last three games, no goals scored for Bournemouth. So that's something I'm thinking. The last three away games for Bournemouth, they haven't scored any goals, and they're facing him next. So I think it's not the worst choice, but in terms of obviously being a captain, one goal, and your clean sheet bonus is over, basically, as a goalkeeper as captain. So there is a risk to that as well. So bear that in mind. Sheffield United have only conceded 3 once this season. Most of the times it's less than 1 or 0. So again, weighs up his the support to put him as captain. Okay, so let's move on. And then another Henderson, Jordan Henderson this time. A lot of people giving a lot of hate for this one, I think. I think a lot of people disagree, but Jordan Henderson, the last 2 games is absolutely smashing it. He's got bonus points, I think, in the last 3 games. So you can see there, twice I think he got 13 points total. So based on the very recent form, mainly, I'm putting him down as an option. I think it's still a big risk. In the risk factor levels, I've weighed up everything. So in terms of who else he's competing against this week for captain, so 7 out of 10 I've given Jordan Henderson as a risk. I think certainly a risk because there's better options, and obviously he's only really got the bonus points in the last couple of games. So think for that what you want. But Norwich away again, obviously I think Norwich away, there's going to be goals for Liverpool. If he gets the assist, another goal maybe. So yeah, I think worthy shout to have as captain if you do, and certainly not going to be mocked if you do, but there is better options. Okay. Steven Bergwijn, and I talked about him in my last show, the review. I think for a start, great value there, 7.5. So we're still probably thinking for a lot of people actually to get him in their team first of all. So it's a massive risk to put him firstly in, and I think even bigger risk to have as a captain. But I'm basing it just on the last round. Obviously there's a good start there. Sometimes the momentum can build when there's a new player, and they've got a bit of a while as well now, I think, till that game against Aston Villa. So there's got time for Mourinho to work his magic on him, and obviously there's no Harry Kane. He could be the main source of goals coming up, or assists as well for Tottenham. And there you go. So if you look at that stat, Aston Villa's last 3 home games conceded 7, so they're not safe at home. Majority of that I think maybe came in the game against City, but there's still risky. There's still a chance, obviously, goals against them at their home. So I think weighing that all up, certainly worth considering having Bergwijn as your captain for this round. Okay, and then moving on to Raul Jimenez. So I know a lot of us have him in our team, so that's the first objective, getting him in your team. Great form at the moment. Last game against Man United was a bit of a disappointment. I was expecting more from him there, but you can see the total amount of bonus points he's got, 22 this season. So I think that's another justification of having as a captain. He's regularly getting bonus points. His next game, Leicester at home. And based on the stats of that, I think Leicester's last 3 away games, they've only conceded 2. They actually look a bit more secure away from home, possibly at the moment. So that's something I would consider for sure. Jimenez playing against them. I think the game earlier this season was 0-0. I think the first game of the season was 0-0. So again, I would weigh all of that in. He is certainly a worthy shout for captain. I think pretty much every week at the moment he's a worthy shout, but there are better options. If we hold fire, there are better options, I feel, than him. But if you are having him as captain, good luck. I think it's not the worst shout in the world. Okay, so we'll move on. Aubameyang. Missed 3 games, obviously suspension recently, came back against Burnley, didn't do a lot, got a couple of points there, not much, but total bonus points this year is quite high, so you can see 24 points. He has been a worthy captain choice for many weeks, I think. Newcastle at home. Newcastle's last 3 away games, they've conceded 7 goals. I like to weigh all that up as well, so they're playing Arsenal at the Emirates. There's a chance Arsenal will get a couple goals at least. If they do, it's Aubameyang potentially. So I put him as a risk factor 5 out of 10. Again, better choices, but I think if you're wanting to do something slightly different to everyone else, potentially a good one, because I don't think too many people will have him as captain this week. We'll see. But yeah, so that's Aubameyang. Next one. we're going to go on to is Son, and I'm basing that on pretty much the last 2 games. Obviously, we've had Bergwijn already in here as well, but I think he is the one that's potentially going to be leading the line. Once he gets into form, he's almost unstoppable. He's one of them where you want to get him in at that point of starting to get into building momentum. He scored in the last 2 games, against City, against Norwich, and again, obviously, Aston Villa's last 3 games, conceded 7 goals, so a very good shout, I think, to have as your captain for this game coming up. He's been quiet. The last few seasons I've had Son in quite consistently, but he's been quite quiet this season. There's been spells of obviously good form, but yeah, as you can see there, the main focus on this one is the last 2 games for me, and I think, like I said, gets into a run, and then he can get points every single week. So a good one to shout, a good one to have, I think, in my opinion. Next one, Sergio Aguero. So obviously you can see we're coming down risk factor less and less as we're going through. I think Aguero is a shout every week. I don't think if you have him, I think if you have him every single week and leave him as captain, it wouldn't be the worst thing. The main risk for that is the rotation with Pep. We've seen before, like, you don't know if he's going to start for definite. But obviously this time, I think for this next round, there's plenty of rest time for the players. So I'm hopeful he's starting against West Ham. West Ham's last 3 away games, conceded 7 goals, so they're fairly leaky. Man City at home. Man City's form, again, weighing that up as well. Man City's form recently has not been that great, but one game they can blow anyone away. And also, Aguero's record against West Ham is very good. I think 8 goals, 3 assists in the last, or total in his history against West Ham. So weighing that up as well, his personal record against West Ham, I think a really good shout for captain. If take Liverpool out of the equation, I think Aguero is my captain this week, this game week. But we'll see going forward. A couple more to go, and obviously, yeah, recent form absolutely on fire, like smashing it in recent form. Why he didn't take the penalty against Tottenham, I don't know. I had him as my team, almost crying after, didn't take the penalty. So that would be something else also to weigh up as well. If he is the lead penalty taker still, then absolute no-brainer. But if he's been pushed to the side for Gundogan, maybe that's something to consider. But Aguero should be on penalties. I'm giving him another chance, I think. He's still like a low-risk option as captain, in my opinion. Okay, right, a couple more to go. Roberto Firmino. I love him, absolutely amazing player. I think you want him in your team if you're playing. Consistency hasn't always been there, but that's not, Mane, Salah in the team, one of them or all of them are being consistent almost. So it's one to, in my honest opinion, I think no-brainers to have him in your team. I'm talking to myself too because I don't have him in my team at the moment. These are no-brainers having your team at the moment, but weighing up the other options for captain, I still wouldn't put him as my favourite choice for captain. Got a lot of bonus points this year, total bonus points, so he's done well collecting total bonus points, obviously. And they're playing Norwich away. The last 3 games conceded 4 goals, so we'll see. I think he would be a very worthy captain choice almost every week. But obviously you've got Salah and Mane to come to factor in, and is it almost he does the work for them sometimes? I don't know, but I think there is a very worthy shout of having him, but better option ahead. And the next one, the obvious choice, Salah. If you haven't had Salah captain the last couple of rounds, bad luck. I had him as triple captain 2 rounds ago, and then the last round 25, still got us 32 points as captain. So he is the number 1 choice for captain at the moment. I don't think you can look away from him. No Mane in the team, so it's all channeling through him. His total points this season is unreal again. He's going really well. The total amount of bonus points is high. I think he had a bit of a lull earlier in the season, but the last 2 games, no Mane, he steps it up again. He's playing Norwich, obviously. We've gone through that already, but they've only conceded 4 goals at their home, so it's not a guarantee that Liverpool are actually going to blow them away or anything like that. But you've got to base it on your current form. Obviously, depends what you're playing fantasy for. If you want to take the risks, if you want to have a bit more of a risky option as captain, there are other options. And let me know if you think of other ones as well. But there are other options. But the main choice, I think, this week is Salah again. Have him as your captain. No one's going to say anything if he doesn't do well. It's just worth that. That's my way. I'll play safe, play Salah as captain, and then move on. And we'll see what we get. Okay, so final slide here, and we can weigh them all up here. So I've got Dean Henderson, obviously, starting at the most risky to have as your captain for this round, but I still feel a very good option. And I think I think if you like the risk, it's not the worst one, because every week, even when they do concede a goal, he's getting points, he's making saves your penalty, so a good option. Obviously, we've got Jordan Henderson there. I think that's probably a slightly controversial one, because I'm basing it purely on 2 games. 2 out of the last 3 games, he's got 2 goals, 2 assists. Steven Bergwijn, very, very risky, but at the same time, if he's a starter, the goals are going to come. I think Aston Villa's record, like we mentioned, is not good at their ground recently. Jimenez, in a lot of people's teams, whether you'd have him as your captain against Leicester at home, I probably wouldn't. I'd still keep him in my team, but I wouldn't have him as captain for that game. Aubameyang, like we said, he's missed a couple of games, but he gets their goals. Like, if he gets on form, he's the one that's scoring their goals. Back onto Son. I think I love Son. Having him on the team is a no-brainer, but he's quite pricey, 9.9 mil I think at the moment. So if you have him in your team, it could be worth having a captain, but I'm not seeing too many people forcing him in just yet. We'll see. Obviously, everyone's got their opinions on it. Aguero, no-brainer almost every week. If you put him as captain every week, like I said, no-brainer. He gets the goals. It's just the rotation thing for me with Pep. Makes me sleep uneasily knowing I've got him as my captain. I don't know if he's going to start, which is crazy, but that's just the way it is with Man City. And especially they've only got 2 strikers, and you don't know who's starting, but they've obviously got competition. And then we'll finish with Firmino and Salah. I think either of those are great choices, but we finish strongly on Salah, as my opinion. That's my recommendation. The last 2 rounds justifies why you would have him as the next one, even just the last 2 rounds, and just the fact he's Salah. There's no Mane, no-brainer. Put him as your captain. Liverpool getting clean sheet, so midfield get the clean sheet bonus as well, 1 point bonus. That's the review on that. Let me know what you think. Have you got any of the? Are you going to go with any of these as your captain this week? Have you got any other ideas? I mean, there are some other teams, Everton at home playing. Let me know your thoughts. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe for more weekly content. I've got the next Game Week Full 26 review coming out in the next couple of days, so stay tuned for that. And let me know what you think. Comment below, get in touch. Love to hear from you, and we'll see you soon. Thanks a lot for watching.